Okay, sorry. Order dinner. Okay, so new topic, cloud computing. Yang tadi tu I tak sempat tengok the one that I did yesterday because hari ni apa this week. This week my class is dari pagi ke malam, right? From morning to afternoon. From morning to evening. Right? So wake up at I cannot tell you lah what time. Right? So from 7:30 move. Go to Wangsa Maju and then come back from Wangsa Maju continue with you class, right? So yesterday yang problem tu I tak sempat tengok. And then today I rushing from home because I thought I can do at my sister's place. Since yesterday was too noisy, and then the kids know that I'm at home, so they are shouting because so that they can get attention. So that's why I decided to come home. So they tak sempat tengok lah, right? But how many days left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I'm not mistaken, 5. All right, 5 more days left. So the remaining 5 days, we will do as much as possible cloud computing. All right, so that's the last topic for this module. So what is cloud computing? So cloud computing, this is a textbook definition. Like it's a utility service giving you access to technology resources managed by experts and available on demand. You simply access the service over the internet with no upfront cost, and you only pay the resources you use. So benefit of cloud computing: elastic capacity, quick and easy deployment, no initial investment, no capex, pay as you go, improve time to market, automation, and reusable components. Right, so no risk. Let me tell you a story. So when I was 2010, 2010, I can still remember the year. But at that time, I was Walid's age, 24. I went for my networking intern. Right? I went for my networking intern in Paris. Blaga, right? My networking intern is in Paris. So the task is to take care of the server. So it was a networking intern. So the task is to take care of the server. So the company that I go is actually ni lah, right? Macam Netflix, right? Not like Netflix, right? So you have videos. So normally, right, the videos that you do, kan, you know that the video that you do, right, when it's on the video, it's on the phone, the size is small, right? It's on the TV, the size is bigger, right? So that's Netflix. That thing is what we call adaptive bitrate. This one, all this is for your information as well. All right. This thing is called adaptive bitrate. What adaptive, right? Adaptive. French adaptive lah, right? In English, it's called adaptive bitrate. So what does it mean? It means that if you open on the phone, all right, so you will not get the same video that you get on TV, all right? You will get a smaller size video. If you open on the PC, that is the different is different video that you will have on the TV and also from the phone, right? So it's in the middle. So what we do is what normally Astro, Netflix, or my previous intern company do is normally, let's say that you have a video, all right? Let's say you have a video. Normally you have a video. We have the pure video. This is what we call the pure video. All right. We decide if I remember when I was in the Astro, we have five size. All right. One is for okay, there's the second one, right? Not the first one. The second one is for phones. Then we have for tablets. Then we have for PC, and then we PC. I think we have two as well for PC, right? The second one is for phone. Then we have for tablets. Then we have two for PC. What is the first one? The first one is for phone, but no internet. Right? Very, very, very low internet. I'm not sure if this happened to you, or if this happened to you. Sometimes when DG is bad, I was watching my YouTube video, and then the screen turned black. Right? I'm not sure. After this, you can pay attention, lah. Right? After this, when you're watching, YouTube has it. Astro Go also have it, but I'm not sure you guys watch Astro Go or not. Sometimes when you're watching on the phone, and then I was watching on my DG. And then even Unify also malam now tak elok. Alright. And then the video turn black. Alright. But you can still hear the sound. Alright. You can still hear the sound. So that's what we do. Right. That's what that's what used to be my job last time. All right, so we have a video. All right, we have a video, and then from that video, so this one, from that video, we create 5 more different videos. Right, we create 5 more videos. So let's say that this one is for low bandwidth. Normally this one is black but with screen. All right, and then you have the phone. Sometimes people put black, but sometimes people put the one that grayish with sound. All right, so it depends. Sometimes if you go to Netflix might not have it, but Netflix might have the grayish with sound. All right, grayish with sound. All right, and then you have for lebih kurang. I'm not saying that this is exactly how is it. I try to summarize it as if possible. So phone, all right, phone size. So maybe we'll just put it there. Maybe 600 times 4. Maybe 600 times 400. Right. Then you have the tablet size. All right. So tablet size maybe you want this one I agak-agak lah ya. And then PC size, right? PC size, and then you have the HDE size, right? HDE size, right? Actually, if I remember correctly, the PC they don't focus more. So I think it's more on phone. Phone they have multiple quality, right? So that was my internship. That was the company, not my internship. That was the company that okay. So what really happened? So the video that you watch, all right, the video that you watch will adjust according to your internet speed. All right. So if your internet speed laju fast, all right, then it will select the high res one. Right. Even for phone also they will select the high res one. But if your internet is slow, all right, it is slow, so it will go at the low level. All right, it will go at the low level. Right? But you can still continue watching it. Enjoy it, but it's just in bad quality, right? So the fact that the fact that your video can be adapted based on your internet speed, that is what we call adaptive bitrate streaming, right? So I just share in case you're curious, you want to read more, you can read here, and I'm sure that YouTube also have it as well, right? So this is not my job, right? This is with the company that I'm working with at that time, right? 2010. So, but my real job is to take care of this thing, right? The one video come in, 5 video comes out, right? The one video come in and 5 videos come out. That process is called encoding, right? That process is called encoding. So the company that I work with, I'm not sure if it's still there or not. Because 2010, if you remember, 2010 iPhone pun tak ada lagi, right? Not iPhone. iPhone is not there yet. I'm not doing it. This is the company. I'm not doing it for iPhone or Android or something. I was doing it for Sony Ericsson. I was doing it for that's Sony Ericsson, Samsung Omnia, right? Ni kalau ni if you don't know this, then you don't know lah, right? You too young already. I'm doing it for not for iPhone, not for Android. I'm doing it for this phone, all these phones, right? So that's the company that I work with, right? So this is actually a server, right? So back to our definition on at the beginning of this module. What is a server? A server is a computer where you can allow people to connect to it. So that's basically the job, right? The job, what it will do, it will transform one video into multiple video, or it will transform one video into multiple video, so that different people, different screen size, different internet speed will still have access to the video. So that's the job of an encoding server. All right. So how does it look? It looks like a computer, right? It's just a computer, right? So server, how does server really looks like? It looks like this, right? It looks like this. The computer is not our computer lah, right? Is dia computer is a high computer yang panjang a little bit, computer the long computer. Alright. So back in 2010, one day I think there is a connection problem. We have a downtime. So we have to check, all right, we have to check the server. So my job is to take a metro or to take metro. Metro is what? Metro is MRT, something like MRT. I have to go to this building. Right? I have to go to this building. I have to go in that building. The building is very secure. With my technician, with the technician, we have to go there. We have to go into this kind of places, and then these places can actually inside here it's shared. Some is ours. We might share it with other company and everything. We have to go in, right? We have to go in, and then we have to betulkan and everything over there, right? So that's, and then I have to plug in the thing into the server. Right? I have to plug in the thing into the server, and then I have to check, right? I have to check everything. So that was my job back then. This is what we call a server farm. Right? My job is I have to go to server farm like this guy lah. Kalau nak apa-apa, I have to maintain and everything. At that time, I remember I have to change the wire because the wire was a problem, etc. Right. So that was back in 2010. Right. That was back in 2010. So if let's say that I'm opening I want to create a project. Right. I want to create macam-macam like there. Right. So what I really to do is I need to buy one disk. All right, I need to buy one disk, and then inside this, let's say that I don't have people. Nobody is coming to my website. Nobody is coming to my app. By hook or by crook, I have to buy this 10,000, for example. It's not 10,000 but I just put it there. 10,000 sekarang ni MacBook pun tak dapat. All right, let's say that it's 50,000. Let's say that 50,000. People come or not, I have to buy it. All right, so that's what we call a capex, right? That's what we call a capex. Capex means initial investment. I have to buy it in the first place, or capital expenditure. Expenditure. People come or not, I need to pay for it as a business owner. All right, and then to deploy it, all right? To deploy it is all right. I have to order the things to come in. If anything goes wrong, I still need to go. Do you guys know anywhere in Malaysia with this kind of thing? Do you know? Anyone knows where you can find this in Malaysia? This kind of places. Anyone live next to it?
KLCC Tower.
KLCC have
Yeah, inside there got.
There got there MCMC also. Yes, MCMC also got. MDEC also have. But there is one place that I know have it is actually in TTDI. I was looking for TTDI. I was looking for restaurant just now. I was looking for TTDI. There is one place which is called VETS. All right, VETS in TTDI. All right. So if you happen to go to TTDI, look for this building. This building is called VETS. This is one of the what we call a server farm as well. Right? So in TTDI also, you can find. So you have KL Tower just now, and then tadi dia kata in KL apa? Just now KL apa? MCMC confirm MCMC, and then you have MDEC. MDEC also have, and this is TM, right? VETS is actually belong to TM. So most of TM farms, server farm is there. All right. But now, all right, thanks to cloud computing, all right, thanks to cloud computing, let's say that I want to build something, I want to create a website, I want to not the website. Normally when we do it, we talk about application. All right, when we want to talk about the application, we don't need this kind of server anymore. All right, we don't need to have this kind of server anymore. Why? Because everything can be done with cloud. All right. I just need to go to a website. I just need to go to any of this website, any of this cloud provider, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud Platform, or Alibaba. And then I register. I put my credit card there. After I put my credit card, later also you will do the same thing. You just click, think, I want this server. I want this server. I want this size. I want this memory. I want to do it for what? Encoding. Just now we're talking about encoding, right? I want to do it for encoding. I want these are the things. All right. Once you have it, I click within few seconds, I will get my server. Later, you will experience it, right? So that's what we call improve time to market, and then quick and easy deployment, right? Improve time to market and quick and easy deployment. And then no capex, no capex means I don't need to buy the things. It's everything is on the cloud. I don't need to buy the thing. Pay as you go means, let's say that my business tak jalan. All right, I do it 1 week. All right, I do it one week. I buy the server 1 week on cloud, and then within 1 week, I decided, oh no lah, people don't really like it. Actually, it's happened to my one of my project as well. Right? MOE. Last time I was talking about MOE project. Right? They do it, and then suddenly they say, oh, we have to put on hold first because I have to go through tender and everything. Right? So I already bought the server in AWS. I already bought the server in the AWS. And then they say that, oh, I have to go to tender process. Cannot do like this anymore. Then what I do is I just turn off the server. All right, I just turn off the server. Imagine that I already bought this. All right, imagine that this is 2010. All right, I already bought it, and then they said that, oh, cannot. I've already bought it for 50,000. And then suddenly they say, oh, sorry, we have to put it on hold. Then I am screwed already. I already spent 50,000. Well, I charged them lah, right? But I already paid for 50,000. Then I lost my money already, right? So that's what it means. Pay as you go, right? You turn on. Once you turn on, you pay. Once you turn off, you stop paying already. All right. And then elastic capacity. What is elastic capacity? Apa benda? What thing in the world that's elastic? It's getah lah, right? We talk about elastic, kan? You think about getah. You think about rubber, right? Rubber that we used to play. Because elastic capacity means, for example, let's say that I am AirAsia lah. This is what happening on AirAsia as well. I am AirAsia. All right. So I have this server that I buy. All right. I have this server that I buy. I buy a big server. All right. This big server normally can take 10,000 people. All right. But tonight, I'm going to have an offer. All right. I'm going to give free tickets to everyone. All right. I'm going to no, even like Lazada also, yeah. 8899, 1010, right? 8899, 1010. So they want to do the 1010. All right. So at the night of 1010, what they're going to do is, just now they have one server, they will increase the size only for that night. Right? Elastic, they can increase it easily. And then once 1010 is over, people already buy and everything, they decrease back the size for people to buy, right? So that's what elastic capacity means, right? All this you will experience later, right? Because how many people come today? Siapa datang hari ni untung lah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. All right, so later I will share with you 7 accounts. So each of you will have your own account. You can try some more because actually my AWS is going to expire soon. So I have like a lot of credits. I need to use it before next month. Then play around. I can leave you to play for 2 weeks, right? So then we're going to do it. So I like AWS, right? So unfortunately, you have no choice. You have to follow me. One of my students, I think he liked Google Cloud Platform very much, but I like AWS a lot. First of all, because last time AWS, they used to do like events and everything. So once you register to AWS, normally you are registered. You are registered to you are inside their database already, right? So they sometimes they have classes, they have classes, they have online tutorials, they have new things. that you can enjoy it. And last time, right, back in 2016, 2017, when I was studying AWS, they actually every year they will like organize a developer conference in hotels, right? So they will do it in one, I think 2 years they do it in one world, in one hotel in near Mutiara, near one OU and everything. Right? So every year they will do it. So you just come for that day, or in the morning they will teach, and then once you learn, all right, and then they will give you credit. They will give you lab exercise that you can do at home. All right. So that's why I started with AWS and I like it a lot. But now also I think Google and everything is doing the same thing. So for example, I teach you AWS, but let's say that you you don't like AWS, you want to try Google. I think Google, you have Google Cloud Lab, I think, right? Google Cloud Lab. So that's why my students last time they like it. So you have Google training, you have all this. You can register for free and everything. You can follow this as well. And if you remember, kan, last time I tell you about Coursera is Google's official some of certification provider, right? Course provider. Right? Google certification course provider. So Google Cloud, if I'm not mistaken, right, this one preparing for Google Cloud certification, cloud architect. Actually, you can just you see, as long as it's Google Cloud, that is official by Google, right? So you can just go there. No, not cloud architect. I think you have to start with engineer first, right? You have to start with engineer first, or you can even start with, for example, developing application. You just check lah, mana beginner and everything. Once you do that, all right, enroll for free, all right, and then I already told you, right? How it works. You go to don't put here, or don't simply go here. If you go here, then you have to know everything. What do is you search individual topic, right? So Google Cloud Architect, all right, consists of these courses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you go to first courses, right, and then you subscribe to these courses. Yeah, already Android. There is a subscribe button here, right? So you go to individual courses, and then you just follow the video and everything, right? So that's for Google, right? If you are interested, you can learn Google by yourself using Coursera or something. And then Alibaba also has an office in Malaysia, and then Azure also have a lot of the Azure. The office is in KLCC, right? It's secure. Sometimes they do training there as well. Now this is the one that I sell lah. AWS Innovate. So 1997. The AWS Innovate is the this is online. Sometimes they do it in one utama everything. Okay. Yeah, I open lampu kejap. But there is one thing, if you know politik lah, right? Politik. If I'm not sure if you know or not, all right. For example, kan, there is a regulation in Malaysia saying that all data that's sensitive data, including health, IC, no. For example, your health data. If you're building something that is related to health. Somebody say education also the same thing, but I think the people who say it is just MOE. They're just saying it for it, but not really. I think health data, it says that health data, the data can have to be in Malaysia. All right. So for example, kan, if kalau you sakit, everything, you're building something for a hospital in Malaysia, the data need to be in Malaysia. So your database, we already learned about database. So your database need to be in Malaysia. You cannot put it on last time we put it, we cannot put it on mongodb.com, right? If you remember, if you put mongodb.com, that data is in the US, right? Unfortunately, AWS don't have a server in Malaysia, right? So the nearest server is actually in Singapore. right? So this one is Singapore, Japan, India, Australia, China and all, right? And then you have in Europe, you have in South America, you have in America and everything. So if you're creating something with sensitive data, right? So AWS, your database need to be in Malaysia. So that's why you heard sometimes people lobby lah, right? People lobby. All this Alibaba, they are trying to lobby to put their data in KL, right? The reason why they want to put their data center in KL so that more people who are constrained to this term, right? App for health and everything, they have to take Alibaba lah, right? They cannot take AWS anymore. So that's one of the things. So if you're doing something that have this kind of constraint, right? Yeah, it's a health app, all right? If it's a health app, then the data need to be in Malaysia. So your database, not your server. Later you will see, we will have different server and everything. Your database need to be in Malaysia. Either you use AWS or you go to vast, there's one, you go to TM, you go to you go to MCMC, MDEC or something. You put your database there, but your application, it can be in somewhere else. Do you know what's the difference between application and database now? Do you see the difference or not? So you see, application is the one that you put on Heroku. Right? That's your application. Okay, your database is the one that you put on mongodb.com. All right, you see, we don't put everything at one place. All right, so imagine that application, all right, you put it on Heroku, your database, you put in mongodb.com. All right, so the mongodb.com, the one that you put mongodb.com, it has to be in Malaysia. Right, you cannot put it inside mongodb.com. But the one that you put in Heroku, it could be anywhere. Right, you can put in AWS, you can put in Heroku, you can put, if you're building something for health, if you're building MySejahtera, that's why. Sometimes people also when they condemn MySejahtera, they don't understand, right? They say, oh, MySejahtera is using AWS. There is no problem, right? If the application can be outside of Malaysia, the one that cannot be outside of Malaysia is the database, is the MongoDB part, right? If MySejahtera is using MongoDB, is the MongoDB part. That's the one that cannot be outside of Malaysia, and that thing is actually in Cyberjaya, or in Cyberjaya, they call it Mampu Cloud. Okay, so here's the information. All right. Later when you have access to console, you will see more places. But this one is dated already, lama punya. So the nearest to us is Singapore or Australia. All right. So okay, let's see if you can remember all these questions. We don't take too much time, and then I think we will do it before Maghrib. Right, it might take 10 to 15 minutes for you to do it. Okay, number one, what is a server? This one we already know already. A server is a computer, right? A computer that is connected and open to people that serve file or application. All right, so that is the one. So the key point here is a computer. So what is a HTTP server? A HTTP server, right? A HTTP server, all right, is a computer that serve website or web application. What HTTP server names that you know? Do you know any? What are the HTTP server names that you know? If I want to put example there, what will be the example that you can put there? For example, Heroku. Right, for example, Heroku. All right, is running on. Your stack. Remember your stack.
Men.
Men banyak. Which one? Node.js. Alright, kalau lamp?
Lamp,
PHP.
lamp,
Language.
apa? Lamp.
Apache kan? Apache, right? Alright, so Heroku Node.js or Apache, right? Or another one, the one that I said always, Apache sometimes now is replaced with something that start with N.
NGIX.
NGX, right? Yes, NGX. So this one we went through the first class, right? If you forget this, then you have to look back the first class. This one you have not done because dulu lama-lama dulu back in old time. I teach FileZilla to upload file to server, but now I don't teach it anymore. I use GitHub pages, right? So this is a software that is used to upload a website to a web server or hosting. Alright, so this was back when there is no GitHub pages and everything. So this one, content delivery network. I think I mesti pernah cakap about this, right? I must have discussed about it. Who can remember?
Bootstrap.
Bukan, Bootstrap kan? When you use Bootstrap, you see the word content delivery network. What does it mean?
External script from...
No, WordPress is not same as GitHub. WordPress is running on Apache or NGIX, so it's different than Bootstrap. GitHub is where WordPress is actually an application. What was it? What is a content delivery network?
External script kot.
Bukan lah. Okay, mana tak mana. Okay. Kalau dah pelik ni, kalau Faiz dah pelik ni, maybe tak pernah cerita lah kot. Okay, so back to the question. What is an internet? Internet is interconnection of network. So let's say that I have this. Alright, so normally kalau you perasan, I always like to draw like this, right? Oh, these are all the computer available in the world. Alright, these are all the computer available in the world. So I can just so because that's what internet is. It's actually interconnected of network. Okay, so right, I can just look all the computer available in the world. So you get Twitter, alright. These are all computer that available in the world, right? So it's interconnected to each other. So that's what an internet is, right? It's interconnected of network, alright. It's the interconnected of network. It's all the computer in the world is connected to each other. Dalam laut benda, right? Alright, and then from here. Alright, let's say that one of this, alright, one of this is actually, I dah bagi tahu lah benda ni kat you because we were talking about apa masalah vaksin last time, the vaccine website last time. Betul tak? You remember the vaccine registration website, the one that has problem? When that happened, we discussed about CDN. So I already explained to you. I have a very good orang kata image memory. I might not remember what I say, but I remember when I said it. Okay. So these are all the computer in the world. Alright, and then in one of the computer you have your website. Alright, so let's say that have this computer, which is my website is here. So let's say that a user, he come in to get data from your website. A user in New Zealand try to get data from your website, so he has to cross Atlantic, go to Singapore, go to Malaysia, go here, take your website and go back. And this will take some milliseconds. right? Although it looks like far, but it will take some milliseconds. So that's how a computer, when you start to type www.alibaba.com, right? This is what has actually happened, right? A CDN is actually some servers in the middle. All right, there is some servers in the middle. What it will do is every time, all right, let's say that you do this, right? You do this, people come, and then there's another server here. All right, there is another server here. All right, and there is a server here. So when you update your code, I put it on GitHub. What it will do is it will create a copy of your website in the CDN. All right, it will create some copies of your website in the CDN. So when you look for information, I go to alibaba.com, it will not look directly on the source on your server. It will look inside the CDN server. So the reason is because to cut the time shorter. Right, so that's what a CDN server is. A CDN server, a CDN stands for content. CDN stands for content delivery network. Betul lah, kan? Network is computers that are scattered to save the local copy of your website or files to faster deliver and improve the performance of your website. So example of CDN is CloudFront or Cloudflare. So that's are two example of CDN, right? So if we talk about Cloudflare. So Cloudflare is an example of CDN. Another one that's by AWS is CloudFront. Okay, so if you go to this website, kan they even show, right, CDN CDN example. So this is the example lah, right? This is the example. Your server might be, that's what I'm trying to draw just now, right? Your server might be here, and then these are the CDN scattered all over the world. People to try to access to your server. He does not need to go directly to Europe. He just need to go to the nearest server, right? The nearest server, and then the delivery will be faster. There is this website which is called GT Metrics. All right, so gtmetrics.com is actually a website to check the performance of your website. All right, let's say that you have a website. gtmetrics.com will check the performance. I will just check the performance of give me one Malaysia website. www. Ini lah, I tak nak pakai my company punya website sebab I tahu macam teruk. So let's say that we go to Industry 4.0 website. So let's say that I check here. I go test my website. What it will analyze is, it will analyze the speed and performance, right? It will analyze the speed and performance. So there is a server in Vancouver trying to go to our Industry 4.0 website at the moment. And then if we say lah, alright, then GT metrics, alright, so F, performance 32%, 54%, the time to load is 38, time TBT as well. TBT is lantern screen, yeah, let's see, right? So this is it. And then we say, alright, these your ni, these are your website. These are your website. These are the thing, and this is how you should improve your website. All right, this is how you should improve your website. So one of the thing is, if your website does not have a CDN, right? If your website does not have a CDN, they will ask you to right. So that's why we have class for you guys, so that you guys can improve this accident. Web 3.0, let me see. Web 3.0 is what? Semantic web. Kadang-kadang I tak faham term, tapi I tahu ni. I faham kalau I from operation to 3.0 kita peer-to-peer network, traffic. Ni. I faham ni, alright, I faham ni, but I ni lah, they call it. This one I understand what it means. Alright, semantic words means you focus on the content. AI, right? Ubiquity is Internet of Things. This is Internet of Things lah, right? Each device we got it, right? Peer-to-peer network is you main game lah. So I might not familiar with the term, but whatever that I put here, I understand lah. So this Web 2.0 is your WordPress, right? It's your WordPress, and it's your WordPress web application. So Web 3.0 is the one that connected, that consists of this thing. So why you ask?
Sebab macam pernah dengar lah orang duk sembang pasal benda tu, tapi bukan community in Malaysia lah.
Oh, okay. Tapi I tak faham lah term je, but I know what does it mean lah. So dia punya definition kan. So this one is it part of it is devices, right? Part of it it's something that devices. When we talk about Web 2.0, none of this talking about mobile mobility and everything. Everything is talk about web application. So 2.0 ni you can imagine WordPress. 3.0 ni, and then you have AI. Decentralized data architecture means all the database is not in one place, right? It's a multiple database. Edge computing, I'm not really sure. Tapi yang ni I'm familiar. So this kind of facts I'm not familiar. 2010, 2020. So we are in this era kan, kalau ikut ni. So I tahu dia term, I tahu dia punya komponen. Kalau aku pun I faham. Kalau komponen, if based on this I faham. But the term tu jarang dah digunakan. Okay, what is the database? So word that stores data of your website, right? Normally used for dynamic website. What are different type of database that you are aware of? What are the different database that you are aware of? So the different type, you have SQL and NoSQL. All right. What are the different database that you are aware of? So MySQL, MongoDB. Any other database that I already explained that you remember? Firebase. Lagi? Banyak ni. Postgres. Right, all this inside your database slide. Nanti kena baca. MS SQL. Later, HDSQL is actually a software to access your database. Right? Dia bukan a database, it's a software to access your ni MariaDB, Postgres, so MySQL, Postgres,
Obvious.
to software to access your database. Okay, ports. What is a port and what are the different port that you're aware of? What is a port already? I tak ingat lah. I have like short memory loss because I don't remember if I already explained to you or not. What is a port? I rasa dah betul kan masa kita when I talk when somebody might ask 808080 what is 8080 what is 3000 did you guys did I explain anything to you? Lama ni type. Ke tak type?
Not sure, sir.
Sure. Okay, so before you answer that, what is an IP address? And what is a domain name? So we do like this first. What is an IP address and what is a domain name? Dah apa? Ni kalau cerita ni lama ni, right? So let's maghrib kejap. 30 minutes, 34 minutes. Try sambil maghrib, if you have time, look for the answer for this question. Look for this for answer. Right. So we stop jap. Nanti kalau bercerita ni lama, because for me to give you an answer, I will add some more story. So let's stop now. We take sampai pukul 8. But if you come earlier, maybe take 10 minutes, right? Try to find answer for, especially the last one. Right? Try to find answer for this website. The last 4 questions. Okay. We'll see you at 8. Alright, see you at 8. Rakam dah ke belum? Rakam. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I continue with the question. So what is an IP address? This one we saw as well. This one we saw as well. All right. So it's an address of a computer, right? So that is an IP address. It's an address of a computer, so that somebody else can connect to you, right? Okay, so that it can be connected to. It can be connected to in the right. So this one, we did it, right? We did it when we do MongoDB, right? If you remember, when we do MongoDB, we add permission or something. Okay, only this IP address can have access to it, or everyone inside the internet can have access to it, right? So sometimes also you guys tak pernah ni, right? So if you go here, what's my IP address? All right, what's my IP address? Then you see lah, right? This is where what's the number store? Okay, one meg. Okay, so if you go this website, what is my IP address? Jadi tak faham lah, right? This one I also tak faham. Then it will show you my IP address is betul ke ni semua? 132.207 and 93. Alright, so this is my IP address. So you can go to, if you want to play games with me, alright, if you want to play Dota with me, I can open my ni, right? I can open my ni as a server, and then you can access it to my. I don't know Dota. I don't know how is it working. So this is how it is, right? This is your IP address. So you can check your IP address. Anyone heard of VPN? This morning also I was explaining to my morning. Not this morning. Yesterday morning. Yesterday I was explaining it to my class. Anyone has VPN?
Yeah,
Huh?
I have.
Ada? Got right? So VPN is for example this one kan, this is actually a pucung VPN, pucung IP address. So let's say that I open actually Actually, why I did it, I want, okay, I want to connect to US server. All right, I want an US IP address. All right, so that's why I buy VPN. All right, so that sometimes I can have a US IP address, a USA IP address. Why suddenly it becomes slow? Up. Okay, so normal lah because I'm on VPN now. Sebab tu tadi I terputus sekejap because I'm changing from Malaysia to US. Right, I'm changing now. I'm in US. Let me share my screen back. Yeah, refresh. All right. So now I'm on suddenly my IP address changed, right? So my IP address changed to the US. All right, that's what VPN is. Do you know why I buy this? This one I buy. Do you know why I buy my VPN? So that I can watch Netflix with more movie. All right. So if I'm on US, for example, I go to Netflix. Oh, slownya internet. Not internet, PC. PC slow. So if I change to Netflix, I was explaining it to my student yesterday as well. So actually, if you are on VPN, you just need to change. You just need to have the capability to change it. So if I'm on Netflix, then you actually have more libraries than in Malaysia. You have more movies in Malaysia. I'm not sure. Nila, right? I don't think Love is Blind, Brazil. I don't think that it is in Malaysia. Right? Seinfeld just came out. Right. So that's the reason why I have VPN. One of the reason like why I have VPN. And sometimes, right? If I want to watch series, I can go directly. I can go directly to the web. I don't actually. I can go directly to the channel directly, right? It's about I go directly to cbs.com, right? Then I can watch. The move the series directly. All right, no need to pergi wait for it to go to Netflix or something. Right? Young Sheldon kan, Young Sheldon I can open it. Right. So that's the reason why that's one of the reason why I use VPN. Right, and then sometimes I travel. Then actually, when you travel, for example, when I was in Istanbul last time, I cannot open bank tau because they only allow bank Islam kot. Bank Islam I cannot open the website and public bank. Alright, I was paying my credit card. Public bank also it does not allow it to connect from outside of Malaysia. Apa ni? So when I was in Istanbul, then I have to connect to Malaysia. I have to connect to Malaysia VPN so that it will allow me to go inside the bank website. Right. So I will disconnect my VPN. Back in Malaysia. Okay, so that's an IP address. So you guys see your IP address already? Dah tengok dah what's my IP? Do you guys see what's my IP? Okay. So now once you see what's my IP, I want you to connect your phone to your Wi-Fi. Right? I want you to connect your phone to your Wi-Fi, the same port, and then you get the IP address of your phone as well, right? So you go to this website. What's my IP address? You do lah what's my IP? Right, what's my IP? 132.107.93, right? And then you check the phone IP address. Notice that is the same address, right? It's the same address. So basically, the IP address that you see here, right? The IP address that you see here is not the IP address of your PC. It's not the IP address of your phone, all right? Which IP address do you think it is?
Your router.
Router, all right? So this is the IP address of your router, all right? So you are connected to your you are connected to your router, right? You connect to your router, and then your router, the white router is connected to the Klabu router, all right? Then that's the IP address of your router, your Klabu. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Klabu router, all right? So that's what happened when you do that. So how do I know? Let's say that I want to the website connect. I get data from internet, all right, and then and then I connect uh, to apa Lazada, all right, and then the website comes into the router, and then how do I get the data? There is this thing which is called local IP address. Right? One is public IP address. Right? One is public IP address. Another one is local IP address. So local IP address, for it, how do I get it? I will do ifconfig. This is for Mac. This is for Mac. Your local IP address is either start with 192.0 or 172. All right, so I check somewhere over here. It's either start with 192, 172 or 10. So LO, not LO. Where was it? EN0. EN0. Where was it? EN. I think it's somewhere over here. EN1, EN2. Anyone say something? EN019 to this IP address 6. IP address 6. EN3. Where? One is not this one. Give you EN3. IF config or IP config? IP config. IP config. Oh no. IF config. 82, not this one. This one. So 192.168.0.155. All right, so this is my IP address. Okay. I'm not sure how is it on Windows. Can you do it IP config or IF config? Faiz, cuba share screen. Faiz assistant cikgu kan. Cuba share screen.
Ya, sir.
Kalau kejap ni buka Netflix lah tu. Okay, so you open CMD, alright, you open CMD. It could be anywhere. If I'm not mistaken, IP config. For you guys, it's IP config. Mine is IF config, you guys is IP config. Enter. Right, so you go up, so that's your IP address. Senang je, you always senang je, IP yang susah. 192.168.42.53. Alright, so that's your IP address. That's your PC IP address within the house. Okay. Later, later, sometimes you do, sometimes that's it. I only want Faiz to show that, so you guys can have your IP address within your house, right? So later, right? Sometimes we do things like this, right? We do npm ranser for anything, and we do, for example, for Node.js project, or for React.js project, for Node.js project. Normally you do something like this, right? npm ranser, and then you do localhost 8080. Now after this, what you can also do is, right, you have this URL, right? You have this number 8080. What you can do is, for example, this one, actually this one, just now what's my IP address? 192.168.0.115. This is for your information. This is my Vue.js project, right? Because similarly, I have my Vue.js project. For React.js project also, you just need to remember your local IP address. It's always start with 192. And then you can actually, as long as your phone, as long as your brothers or your friends, wife, your housemate, PC is connected to the same network, then you can show the website to him, right? He just need to open inside the browser 192.168.0.115 .8080. Then you become the server within your house, right? You become the web server within your house, and then people also can come in and people can see your website already. Right, so this is the address that you see here. Now it makes sense, right? The Vue.js address that you see here is actually your IP address of your house, right? Of your PC, right? But if you go out, right? If you go out just now, if you try to go out from outside of the world, everyone in the house, everyone, as long as they are connected to the router, they will be seen as this IP address, right? And then this IP address kan besok you tengok, it will be different, right? It will be different. That's what they call dynamic or static IP address, right? Dynamic means every day your IP address will be different. Today is like this, tomorrow when suddenly your IP address is different. All right, I heard that let's because we go to unify, right? So let's say that, all right, you want to have normally for office lah, right? Normally for office, right? So this is office. They need to I want to look something for my office, and then I want to look for the package for your office, right? 800 Mbps. All right, and then up, go down, and then you see, normally, right, inside this, all right, inside this, they always have one option where is it a static or is it a dynamic IP? It's not written here. So some of the, if you want to add static IP address, you have to pay extra. What does static IP address mean? It means that every day, right? Every day your IP address will always be the same, right? It will always be the same, and then it will not change. If you don't pay for the static IP address, then every day your IP address will change. Why do you think office need? Some office need static IP address. Why do you think? Why do you think some office need IP address?
Senang nak connect.
Dia bukan senang nak connect. Siapa senang nak connect? Siapa?
Ada komputer, external komputer lah. Office.
But because there is a server. Dekat office tu ada server.
Oh.
Kan? The server lah. Inside the office, there is a server. Somebody need to connect to that server. So maybe in my office, I have this one web server. Kan yang I cerita ni kan, I buy a server and everything. I put inside my office. And then this is my private server. Alright. So Kalau hari-hari tukar, then there will be a problem. Today is like that, tomorrow is like that. So then, alright, inside my office I have a server. This server will always be the same IP address, and then everyone senang lah nak connect, like you said lah. So everyone senang nak connect. So most of the office is like that. Most of the office, even my old company also, the office is like that. They have like 1 or 2 server that they put inside the office. This is not and then people can connect to the server. Okay, so that's an IP address, all right? Address. That's why I said Margaret, because to explain this, I want to show you. Just now you learned about what we call public IP address, and then another one is private IP address. What is the number that I mentioned just now for private IP address? It will always start with. Ada 3 nombor. Nanti kalau interview, I don't know, 192 or 3 nombor. Siapa boleh ingat? It's either start with 192, 172 or 10. So it's either start with 192, 172 or 10. Yeah, 192, 172. I benda ni I buat lama. It's been a while since it's been a while since let me see if I can remember it. So 192, 172 and 10. Let me see. I think I remember it, but tak lupa. 192.168.0.115. 1, 2, 3, 4 ya. 1, 2, 3, 4. Kan lagi. Dulu ni benda semua ni. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kalau dia 1, zero. 1, 0 is 1, 1, 0. Oh, I can remember IP address allocation. Dulu I belajar ni, tapi I tak ingat macam mana. It's in my brain, but I need to defrag my brain in order to for it to comes out. So dia macam ni. Okay, 255.0.0.0 255.255.0.0 This one is 255. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 1, 1, 1. Tak apa. This is the explanation, right? This is the explanation And as you can see, I tried to draw it, but the thing is in my memory, but I don't sebab benda this thing I do it when I was Walid age 23 years old, more than 13 years ago. So I will just share with you the explanation. All right. So basically, when you are on big company, right? When you are on big company, right? When you are on big company, you normally your Astro lah, right? Astro, for example, if you have more than around these devices, right, within your network, then normally your IP address will start with 10. So if your local IP address start with 10, right, then you can have up to this PC within your network. All right. If you have around this number, all right, then your IP address can start with like 172, right? 172. And then if it's at home, right? If it's at home, normally your IP address will start with 192, all right? Because normally it can support around 254 IP address, all right? So that's the explanation lah. Why have 10? Why have 172? Another one why have 192? Right? But how to get that? I learned it, but I tak boleh ingat. Right? I tak boleh ingat now. Right? So that's the explanation. If you need to know, in case interview ke apa, right? So this is the explanation. Okay, domain name. What is a domain name? So each of as I put here, all right, as I put here, each of the computer, all right, will have an IP address. Okay, it will have an IP address. So this including your server, right? Including your server, it also have an IP address. All right. So my website, I host it somewhere. I host it in a server. It actually has an IP address. But let's say that I say, come visit my website. My website is 54.171.0.1. Then people will not come to my website because they've always forgot what's the address of your website. 54.171. So that's why you need a domain name. Domain name is a human readable address that can be linked to your server, right? So that people can visit it easily. Right, so that's what a domain name is. Your www.iindustry4.0.com. Behind that, there is a server. Behind the server, there is an IP address. All right. So if I want to tell you, okay, come visit. If you want to register in 54.123.133.11. Nobody will come. So that's why normally I need to buy a domain name. That domain name, I'm going to link it to the server that I have just now, and then only I can ask people to visit it. All right. So basically, right, if you want to create your own website, all right, there are two things. People always forget. There's two things, which is what we call a hosting or a server. A hosting or a server is where you put your website. Right. So for example, GitHub pages is an example of a hosting. Another one is a domain name, right? So you can have a hosting without a domain name. You can have a domain name without a hosting, all right? But if you want it to make sense, you need to link the domain name to the hosting. All right. So kalau if you buy it from exabytes or something, I always use exabytes as an example, but exabyte also is not that tak adalah bagus, right? If you're buying from exabytes or something, normally you have to buy two things. You think, all right, I want to create a website on WordPress, and then how much does it cost? All right, you check. So you check the thing. It's what? This one, and then check lah, right? Is it include the domain name or not? All right. So this one have free domain lah. But if you buy this one, it means that you have to pay the domain name. Right? Not only you have to check all this, right? You have to check does it has a domain name or not? Right? If this means, it means that you have to buy your own domain name. So this one normally I always buy in Namecheap lah, right? Namecheap.com. Right, this one is just buy the domain name without the server. All right, so you want to go one Muzaffar. All right, so I buy it. I go there, I check. All right, so onemuzaffar.com. How much that is? It depends. The price doesn't mean the same. The price doesn't mean the same. Last time I want to check Moose. Can Moose is the Moose. All right, so just now Moose also how much? 509, 1,600, right? So the more popular the domain name, then the more expensive it is, right? But for if you are beginner, right? Normally, kan, what to do? I always suggest you to kalau if you want to buy a domain name, right? You want to do wallet.com, right? I always suggest you to buy from Exabytes lah, right? The reason why I suggest you to buy from Exabyte, because there is a process of link. You need to link your domain name to your server. So if you know how to do it, no problem, right? Your server can be in GitHub Pages, your server can be in anywhere. It can be in AWS, all right? And then you just point the domain name to the server. But if you don't know how to do it, then suddenly you buy and your domain name also you don't know how to point it out. So normally in that case, if in Exabyte, normally I will just send an email, you call the support. Please, Exabyte, one of the things, although it's slightly expensive, some people say it's expensive everything. For me, okay lah, right? Although it's slightly expensive, but whenever you have a problem like that, can you please point my domain to my server? Normally they will do it, right? So you pay a little bit expensive for that kind of service, right? But if you know how to do that, right? If you know how to do that, if you know how to point and everything, then you can save a little bit. You buy the server. Your server could be somewhere else, and then you go to namecheap.com just now, right? You go, even if you compare, right, namecheap.com and Exabyte, you will see that there's now one Muzaffar or something, and actually is more expensive in Exabytes than in Namecheap. So onemuzaffar.com. This one is 9 darab 5, around 10 lah, 10 darab 5. 10 times 5 is 50 ringgit kan, 50 times 250. So this onemuzaffar.com is ni apa, 9 darab 5, 50, 50 darab 50, 250. This one is lebih kurang lah, alright, lebih kurang. Oh no, this one is onemuzaffar.com, they don't sell it. Again, this one onemuzaffar.com, they don't sell it. Namecheap sell it, alright, but onemuzaffar.com they don't sell it. This one is onemuzaffar.com and everything. One Muzaffar baik, right? Okay. Alright, so that's domain name. Normally Namecheap will always be slightly cheaper than Exabyte. Okay, pods. What is a pod? Tempat, do you manage to research during Maghrib tadi? Okay, now that you understand what's a server is, and you understand what's an IP address is, let's say that my PC become a server. Alright, just now you see, I tell you, right? Okay, actually you can ask your friend to visit your website 192.168.0.115, right? It will open my website. Okay. Let's say that, okay, I want to open my PC. This one, if last time cerita juga lah. Today a lot of story about my cerita in Paris last time. Last time in France, right? Kita orang now you guys have Netflix. You guys have Netflix. You enjoy life. You have Netflix and everything. Last time, right? Last time we don't have Netflix. We don't have the joy of streaming. So what we do is inside the hostel or inside the hostel. Our hostel is not like bukan macam you bayangkanlah hostel in university, right? But last time ours is one room, one person lah, right? I think in UM, for example, one room, 2 person, some 4 person. So satu bilik seorang, right? So what we do is we share to each other, right? We just we open our PC, right? Each of the PC become a server, right? And then I will share a folder, right? I will share a folder inside my PC. And then I say, all right, these are all the series that I've downloaded. What to do? Doctor House, Lost, right? Doctor House, Lost, Scrubs, right? We put inside the folders, right? So that's I'm opening my PC, and then people can access to my PC, and then you open lah. They open over here, right? They open something like the Finder, but over here, right? They will see, right? This is Muzaffar PC, this is Walid PC, this is Faiz PC. So once I click Faiz PC, for example, then there is, alright, this is a movie folder. I check lah, right? Walid ada movie apa hari ni? Faiz ada movie apa? What movie they want to share to me? And then I copy, I put inside my PC. Alright, so that's what happened last time. Okay, so that's what happened just now is I'm becoming a file server. Alright, people come to my PC, people take the file, and then people save it. The one that I mentioned just now, the first one, the one that I asked you to do is, I say that I'm becoming a web server. Right, just now one is file server, one is web server. And last time also, if you remember, Faiz baru tanya pasal siapa budak Ashraf. Dulu pun sama juga lah, right? When masa kita orang third year, even when I was form 5, form 5, kita orang pun inside form 5, actually in my school kita ada cyber cafe, right? So I'm the president of the cyber cafe club. Alright, so what we do, we install tahun 2003 apa game yang orang paling ramai main?
Counter Strike
lah, right? So we install Counter Strike. That's how we get the money lah, right? That's how we get the money. Yeah, so orang datang, orang buka, or we open the PC. When we play, if you guys play Counter Strike even today, right? There's another one. I'm not sure you know. Worms Armageddon. Selain Counter Strike, if you know this game, you're a legend lah, right? There's one Worms Armageddon, Counter Strike, and then satu lagi, Red Alert. These are the games that we play during that. Red Alert also the same. Counter Strike, Worms Armageddon, Red Alert. So this is the most popular game in our cyber cafe last time. So how does this game work? Somebody dia say, "Oi, aku server, connect PC aku." Alright, so which means that I'm becoming the server. Please connect to my PC. Alright, so I'm opening my PC. Lama tak main Red Alert. So I'm opening my PC so that people can connect to my server, alright, and we play Red Alert together. Yeah, and then we play Red Alert. Yeah, remember, PC will always have the same IP address, alright. My IP address from PC perspective will always this. This number is actually represent the application inside the PC that I wish to share with people. So for example, if I want to share a website, normally the port, right, this dot here will be either 80 or 8080, right? Or sometimes you see 3000, right? Last time we read just using 3000. So this is normally the web one. So if my PC, I want to make it a file server, right? I was telling the story. Some of you might not have this problem, or you might not need. Last time nak download pun susah. Last time, yeah, right. Streaming pun tak ada, right? But you imagine when I was in France, the internet already fast, 30 to 40 megabyte lah. I mean gigabyte per second lah, right? During that time, 20 to 30, right? So if it is a file server, right? File server, I think it's 23 if I'm not mistaken, right? File server, file server port. FTP port, if I'm not mistaken, it's 22, right? 22, right? So if transferring file, we call it FTP. It's 22 and 23. The 22 is 21, 21, right? If it's a mail server, right? So because my server can become a mail as well. This one kan. If you guys did something, for example, let's say that you have Gmail, or you have Gmail, and then you have, for example, last time you have Outlook and everything. If you want to link your Outlook to Gmail, you might familiar with this. So mail also have their own port, 25, 465 and 577. Yeah? So 25, 467 and 465 and 587. Siapa ingat MySQL? Who remember MySQL port? When you just now see Faiz was talking about Heady SQL. When you open Heady SQL, you will notice 4 number which actually belongs to MySQL. It's 3306, right? If you see number 3306, that is the port. So if I want to connect to somebody's website, somebody's server, I want to connect to this one. Which application? It's not that, okay, 192.168.0.115 MySQL. No, it's not like that. It's I want to connect to your PC. I want to connect to MySQL application. So MySQL, I know that is 3306. When I do that, then it will connect it to MySQL. I want to connect to your PC, but I want to get file. So if I want to get file from your PC, then I send a signal. The code is 2021 just now. I want to connect to your PC, but I want to play red alert with you. So if I play red alert with you, there will be some random 5 number lah. Normally all the games, all the application, it will be a big number. Torrent, you guys know torrent. Siapa pernah torrent? Anyone know what torrent is? BitTorrent and everything. Sempat tak BitTorrent?
Yeah, last time I used to use.
BitTorrent, right? The same thing lah, right? Same thing as well. So what happened is, this is what we call peer-to-peer network, right? Peer-to-peer network, which means that I have a movie, all right? I download it, and then if I want to download, I download it for all the people who have this movie in the world. Kan? I download Lost, right? I download Lost 5 gig, one season 5 gig. And then all the people who have Lost, who decided to share Lost with everyone in the world. So I will get some chunk from Faiz, I will get some chunk from David, I will get some from Walid and everything, right? So tunggulah, right? Tunggu 4-5 jam, dapatlah tengok Lost one season, right? So that's torrent. Just now also I rasa nampak tu, when we talk about torrent, normally we talk about peer-to-peer network, right? Peer-to-peer network. Alright, so it's not server to client anymore. It's not server to client. Server to client means I connect to one server, right? Peer-to-peer means one I can connect to multiple. Server, right? Reminder, server is actually computer to get one same thing. Right? So that's peer-to-peer network. Our normal is server to client lah, right? One PC, right? Connect to one server. Okay, so DNS. Hari ni 2 jam. This is all networking theory. This is all networking theory. I think tutorial's point also might have all this information. Tutorial's point networking. So if you want to know more about all this, I think yang apa IP address and everything they might explain somewhere, right? So if you want more reference, or ni ada tak YouTube? Let me see. No, it has right. So if I selalu cakap kan, if you want, try to watch something from freecodecamp. So you can try to watch something from freecodecamp. Okay, DNS, it stands for domain name resolution. What does DNS do? All right, it will. Just now I was talking about IP address to domain name. DNS server is the one that will map back. All right, that will map the domain name to the IP address. Right, so you will have one server that say lah, right? So anaktuyu.com.my, alright. So I will have one server that I will say, alright, anaktuyu.com.my is actually belongs to 54.xx.xx.xxx. Alright, so that's the function of the domain name server. Finally, high availability and load balancer. Anyone Google high availability just now? Sempat Google? Oh, penetration test also have, so you can just do this core. Okay, so high availability is actually SLA, service level agreement. All right, when I sell you a service, all right, when I sell you a service, let's say that you pay me to use my system, right? You pay me to use Anaktuyu, then I will say that my high availability is 99%. I assure you it's going to be 99%. What does it mean when I say it's 99%? It means that in 1 year, cumulatively, I will only be down for 3.65 days in 1 year. Or in a week, I can only be down for 1.68 hours. Or in one day, I can only be down for 40 minutes. So if my server is down or is not accessible for more than this SLA, it means that I have no I fail my SLA lah. I'm not high availability. Kalau CIMB, I think bank must be somewhere around this lah, but I think CIMB already the SLA here, right? So that's high availability, and the strategy for me to achieve this SLA. All right, so high availability is a service level agreement that normally a service provider set, and the strategy implemented to achieve the defined SLA. Normally we use the 9 and the 9 because everything is 9. Everything is 9. Nobody will say like, oh, actually my SLA is 50%. Nobody will say that. Only people we talk about the 9x%, right? SLA. Okay, and load balancer, right? Load balancer is one of the strategy, right? to achieve HA, high availability. How does it work? Okay. So normally, right, you don't see this, right? You don't see this, right? But when you upload your code to Heroku, all right, when you upload your code to Heroku, Heroku will not upload your code to one server. All right, Heroku will upload your code to multiple server. Right, because Heroku SLA is 99.99999, right? So that's why, to ensure that every time you access Heroku, you will have access to your file. Heroku will not only upload it to a server, right? It will upload it to multiple server. Right? So what load balancer is? Load balancer is the another server, another service that will manage the traffic. All right. Let's say that your website is very popular. All right. A lot of people access it. So what load balancer will do is the first person come. All right. I know that anaktoyou.com.my is inside this server, so the first person will go here. The second person come, they will go here. The third person come, will go here. With fourth person come, go here, and then here, 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 here. 50%, 50%, 50%, 50%, 51%, 51%, 51%. So that's what a load balancer is, right? It manage the traffic. Load balancer is a way to achieve high availability. I will edit a little bit the access by managing traffic coming to a server and distribute it to by managing traffic coming to multiple server and distribute the traffic by controlling the load. When I say load ni 50%, 40% of each of the server. Okay, so that's about it, right? So this is why I do this, because this term later when I explain you AWS, when we are doing AWS activity, you will see it. You will see all this term. You will see it back later. Any questions? So a lot of talking today because new topic networking. The first one already introduction to programming. This is introduction to networking already. Any question?
Belum lagi.
Belum lagi. Okay, saya dah penat sikit. Let me open back my slide. And actually I want to take 4 minutes break sampai pukul 9 lah. Nak pergi minum air kejap. Penat cakap. Air lupa bawa dalam bilik. Alright, so okay, so we are here. Alright, we are here. And then let me grab a drink first, and then we come back. Okay. So this is an old case study lah, old case study by Airbnb. I don't think this is the number now. So Airbnb one night hosted 200,000 user, right? All ni. All right. So the number of guests increasing, all right, from here to here, and then this is the number of guests over the year, right, until 2014. And this is the number of server, right? When you see the word EC2, EC2 means the server, right? It starts with 24, electricity, and then in 2014, it's become 1,300, right? So EC2 means the server. And then these are the different. This one also we did already. This one also we did at the beginning of the course. All right, these are all the different servers, the different service that Airbnb use. All right, when we talk about application, they put inside a server, they use a database. The database is called RDS, and then object. This one also I know. This one also I know we discussed. This is like all the images, all the files, all the PDF, all the videos. Normally you will store it here. You imagine this like a Dropbox, or you imagine it like Dropbox or Google Drive. So all the image will go there. This is the database. So the difference between this and this database is relational. So that's why just now I have all the question relational. This is a this is an object-based database. This is no SQL database. So relational, no SQL. Now inside your answers is now, you can add one more things. No SQL database. One of the example, another example is DynamoDB. This is catch. Hey, catch mean that's also I use the word catch. The word catch is actually the copy, all right? The copy of your website, the copy of your images, so that every time they don't need to get it from the database, they can get it from the catch. Route 53 is the DNS. What does DNS do? DNS now is there. DNS map the IP address to the domain name that you have, that you already bought, right? So these are the services that Airbnb do. Apart from that, these are all the different services. I don't know everything. I don't know everything. If you go to awsamazon.com, all right, you open this. These are all the services, right? These are all the services. I also don't know everything. All right, I only know the one that I use. So EC2 I know, EC3 I know, like Sail or no, and then Elastic Benzo I know, Lambda I know, so this one, all this I don't know, because somebody said me that every day they will keep having new things. Every day they keep having new things. So there is no way that there is a person who knows everything. And they know the things that they work with, but it's impossible for one person to know everything. Right, so that's AWS services. This slide dated already. If you want all the services, you just go to aws.com and then you see all that. And then you can register to AWS. So AWS provide free account for you to experiment, test, and learn using AWS. This free tier is only available for 12 months. After that, you pay as you go. Then the rate will apply. Upon registering AWS, you need to link the credit card. Last time, unfortunately, you have to link your credit card. If you exceed the free quota, it will be pay as you go rate. So have a look when you have AWS free tier. Right, so you go here, all right, you go here, it will tell you, right, you can use EC2. What is EC2? EC2 is a server, right? It's a server. You can use it for 750 hours per month, right? For during 12 months. You can store up to 5 gig of pictures, image, and everything during the per month. Oh, sorry, for 5 gig during the 12 month. You can open database up to 750 hours per month, right? DynamoDB, SageMaker, these are all the things that you can benefit as a free tier during 1 year. After 1 year, or if you use more, then whatever they offer here, then you only pay whatever do you have, right? So this is This is a summary a little bit, but if you need really need the information, you can go to aws.com/free. All right. So this is the one that I story, the one that I tell you just now. So this is how a high availability works. What is a high availability? Is the strategy for me to ensure that is the strategy. Let me rephrase. Penat sikit, sorry. Okay. High availability is the strategy that I take to ensure that I deliver a website or application or services to you based on the SLA that I promise. Okay, so I have multiple servers, I have multiple database, and then I have an image, and then there is this thing which is called availability zone. Alright, nanti you akan nampak we call it AZ deployment. Not AZ, not AstraZeneca. Alright, AZ is availability zone. What does it mean? It means that not only I put just now I was talking about putting things inside multiple server. Alright, when I say that, alright, I want to enable AZ, it's not only that I put my file, I put my website, I put my data inside different server. I also put it in different location. Alright, so for example, if I decide to put it in Singapore, so one of the file I will put it in Marina Bay, right? Marina Bay on the west coast, And one of the server I will put it on Jurong. I'm not sure if you know Singapore or not. So Singapore is Jurong is the one that if you go to Gudang Gelang Patah Nusa Jaya, right, you will enter by Jurong. Right, so that's Singapore, right? If you, I'm not saying that the server is Jurong. I just want you to imagine. And then you have Marina Bay here, somewhere over here, and then this is all the Changi, the airport, and everything is over here, right? And then Marina, I think, and then Changi is over here. The airport is on the one is the west coast. West coast. What is the west coast? What is the east coast? What is the east coast? The Jurong lah. Jurong ni dekat Gelang Patah lah. Jurong is the Gelang Patah and everything. And then you have Marina Bay somewhere over here, and then the Changi, the airport, is somewhere over here. Right. So one is here. One of the server is somewhere over here. I always say Jurong lah. Right. I think it's a Jurong juga. Alright, and then another one is somewhere over here. Alright, so somewhere over here. Marina, I call it. What is this? This is Changi. Before Changi is betul lah kan? Is where is what? Changi. Betul lah, Marina Bay and everything is over here. Alright, so that's what multi AZ means. Alright, multi AZ means. Why do like that? Kenapa dia buat macam tu? Why do you think you do like that? Oh, third bridge is somewhere. They said last time they want to do third bridge, if you remember, and third bridge is here lah, Pasir Gudang everything. Let's say why they do like that. Let's say that there is tsunami, no lah, apa orang kata apa, touch wood. If there's a tsunami here, then this area is still safe. Right? If there is a tsunami here, right, this area is still safe, right? So to ensure that it decrease the possibility that things goes wrong. Kalau ada gempa bumi over here, or there is a tsunami over here, that's why this two Singapore
99%.
Huh?
They ensure 99%.
To ensure kan, that's why they use Singapore as well. Singapore is ni, kalau they choose Indonesia, habis lah. Right, no lah, it's not I said Indonesia teruk. It's part of the geographical gunung berapi and everything kan. They already take that into consideration. So in case something goes wrong here, the over here is safe. I think they think about the tsunami and everything as well, right? Sebab tu I said, but that's why sebab tu I agak jurung luas, because it has to be as far to each other as possible. Takkanlah dia buat satu kat sini kan, right? So if gempa bumi terbakar apa, it will be very close. So that's why I macam agak lah, it could be on Jurong or somewhere, and then somewhere over here it could be on Changi. Tak adalah, Changi ni military. If you've been to Singapore, this is a military zone. So somewhere ni lah, dekat ECP, somewhere kat ECP. So that's but no, nobody knows the location, right? So that's one of the important thing as well. Nobody knows the location. Okay, so that's multiple AZ deployment. All right, so this is an example. You have region A, region B, and then this is the role and responsibility. All right, this is the role and responsibility. What does it mean? It means that if, for example, my application is hacked, right? If my application is hacked, right? I open the port. Nanti you belajar lah. Open the port. Somebody managed to go to my IP address. Somebody managed to get the password and everything. Sorry. Jangan cakap hack. Let me rephrase. Let's say that my server is down. My server down. Right, my server down. What's wrong? Then I check what's wrong with the server. Number one, right? One thing that can happen, somebody hacked my server. So I accidentally the password, right? Somebody managed to get the password. Somebody managed to go inside the server. When somebody managed to go inside the server, somebody managed to delete the server and everything. So that is my fault. All right, when it's something that is inside the cloud, the one that is responsible is me. But let's say that the server is down, but this time around the server is down because there is a tikus gigit the wire. Tikus gigit the wire. Or maybe macam ni lah, gempa bumi terbakar or something. So in that case, I am not at fault. AWS will be responsible. So this is different than the one that I said last hari tu. When we start the class, I tell you the story about VADS, kan? So when I say you, okay, I have to go to the thing, the wire broken also, I am the one who have to go and betulkan wire tu. Right? I'm the one who have to do that. In this case, let's say I don't know where's the server, I don't know how it looks like, I don't need to maintain it, I don't need to wire rosa, everything, I don't even need to care about it, because that's part of AWS responsibility. Right? Unlike my story on 2010, I was remember that I'm changing the wire because something is wrong with the wire. So that one, not the cable, wire, cable, network cable. So that's where when I buy a server like that, I am responsible of everything. Alright. Kalau ada orang curi orang masuk server, alright, orang masuk dalam server, even at that, yang itu pun I'm still responsible, because nobody should be able to go inside my server last time, right? Because only people with card sahaja yang boleh masuk into my server, right? Last time dekat 2010. So if somebody managed to go in, most probably it's because I misplaced, somebody retrieve my card and ID, right? But in our case, if somebody go into my server, then that's AWS responsible, because I also don't know where my server is. How can I be blamed if somebody goes into the server and curi the server and everything? Right? So that's the difference. This is what we call a shared responsibility model, right? If it's something that happening inside the computer and application, then that's my problem. That's my responsibility. If it's something that related to the hardware, benda terbakar, alright, and then then that's AWS responsibility, right? So it's slightly different than last time when I have my own server, I put on VADS or something. Have you heard 2017 AWS fire 2017, I think, in USA. Kebakaran. Macam mana nak cakap? AWS caught fire news. Ni AWS outage, it was 2017. Alright, so yeah, there is a data center in Virginia that caught fire. 2015 on 2015. So that's jangan cakap benda tak terbakar, benda terbakar. So it happened on 2015, alright, and then but it's AWS ni lah, it's part of AWS responsibility to ensure that nothing goes down. Okay, there is this thing which is called IAM. After this, today at least, today you will see. I'm using IAM because I'm going to give each of you today an AWS access, so that tomorrow you guys can just follow the lab. You buatlah 7 orang bersama, just follow the lab and try to do it. And then so IAM is where I'm going to create user, I'm going to create the access, I'm going to create your role, and I'm going to create your permission, right? Later you will see this. So IAM, Identity Access Management, it's for your username, your password, what service you have permission to, and then what kind of permission that you have, right? Just now I keep talking about EC2. EC2 is a server. So if you want to map this is just like your Heroku. This is just like your Heroku. But when we talk about a server, you will get an empty server, and then you need to set up and everything. So you so you may scale the capacity of the server as it change, right? Cerita yang cakap lah besar kecil. Pay only the capacity that you are using. You can choose either Linux, Windows, or Mac. Right now, Mac also can deploy across AWS region for AZ and more reliability. Right. So this one we will do together. AMI is Amazon machine. Amazon machine image, right? Amazon machine image. Ni tak apa, we skip it. So Lightsail is a lighter version of EC2. So if you are hosting a website, a WordPress, everything, you will use Lightsail services. S3, as I mentioned, is actually just like your Dropbox or your Google Drive. It's for you to store images or files or videos or web pages, and all these images are accessible from the internet. So you have S3, right? S3 is for your files. Glacier is your archive, right? So this is your file, this is your archive. It's still a file, but see the definition. Glaciers offer long-term archiving of infrequently accessed data at incredible cost. So let's say that you have 7 years of data for your income tax, right? You put everything inside S3. And then after 7 years, you can move it through Glacier, right? It's still there, but you pay low cost for it. You pay low cost for it. The difference is this one, if you request now, you get it right away. Glacier, you request now, within 30 minutes, you will get the file. Right? So that's the difference between S3 and Glacier. Snowball, this one pun I jarang dengar definition. Snowball is a hardware appliance designed to move massive amount of data between your site and WS Cloud in a short time. Right, this one tak apa. Right, so recap of SQL and NoSQL. Right, SQL use row and columns. The schema is fixed. You use SQL, and then NoSQL key value. Right, you use key value. Key value means name Muzaffar. It's just like JSON. Schema is dynamic, so one database can have this, one document can have this, another document cannot have it. You talk about collection of document, and this one scalability UD. So RDS, relational database, right? RDS relational database. So you can get MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, Postgres, and then it will also take care of other part of database. So for example, backup, patch, and everything. And then DynamoDB is for NoSQL. All right, so it's using documents and key pair. So and then it have integration with other services. Ini tak apa ya. So 1 and 2 is very important. All right, so this is how it look like. And DynamoDB. All right, so if you need with minimal configuration, you do RDS. If you need high scalable NoSQL, DynamoDB. If you can manage your own database on your own, you use AMI or you install EC2. Elastic Beanstalk is to upload things inside your server, right? And then the reason why I go so fast at the end is because I want to talk about this. So time macam laju. So I want to see if you remember what I say or not. But that's why I'm explaining it to you. So in the end, there is this thing which is called AWS certification. Right? There is this thing that is called AWS certification that you can take, and it's really laku lah, right? It's really laku. So the path is everyone will always start as cloud associate, I think, right? You always start with cloud practitioner, but I don't have it. I don't need a certificate for myself. All right, so normally if you want, you always start with cloud practitioner, right? Cloud practitioner later, that's why I give you a lot of explanation, because later we will do a test exam. Everyone will do a test exam for cloud practitioner. I already prepared 10 questions, right? We will try to answer this question. You will try to answer these questions, right? Based on what I explained just now. All right, so this is based on AWS questions, real exam questions, yeah. And then once you pass this, you can either be a developer, AWS developer. So this one you have a lot of codes. You can be a solution architect. Solution architect is the one that design, the one that decide. Oh, you have to use EC2. And just now kind of say, oh, if you need, for example, this one, what type of application do you need? All right, if you need this, you will use RDS. If you need this, you will use DynamoDB. So this is the job of an architect. He or she will decide what service to use. This guy will code on AWS. So because some of the thing, you have the coding part as well on AWS, and this is in between, the one that will maintain the server. So sysops is the maintenance. So you start with this. All right. After you start with this, once you have this certificate, then you decide one. All right, you decide one. So AWS exam has a study guide. Right. If any of you are interested, but you see, just be careful. You need to at least use for 6 months. Not you learn, not you watch video for 6 months. You need to at least use AWS for 6 months. Unfortunately, I only give you the account for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. This week, next week, and after week. After that, but then you have to find out if you want to practice, if you want plan to get this for your career, how to do it. There is a study guide. All right, there is a study guide that you can follow, or as usual, you can always go to YouTube. You can just put AWS certified cloud practitioner. Also we be certified cloud practitioner 2001. So kita jadi ni lah with ni, alright, and then you can just follow the training over there, right, on the video. I'm not sure if it's working or not, because I also don't have the certificate. But you read the comment lah, right? I spent 2 days doing this course, following everything you did, pass on my everything 35 of first try, right? Pass on everything, right? So I think it's okay lah. I think it's okay. Okay, so before we try the test exam, so that's why I'm talking too much, because I know that at the end of this I want to test all of you. I'm going to create your account. So tomorrow, tomorrow I will explain to you. How many of you have not do Vuetify? Berapa ramai yang tak pernah buat Vuetify?
Vue.js
Vue.js. How many of you done Vuetify?
Saya tak.
Saya tak. I can't remember. David dengan Walid sempat tak buat Vuetify?
I think so.
I know you guys. I know you guys tak buat sebab you guys 10 orang hari tu. Okay, so tomorrow I'm going to do Beautify with the other batches. Yeah, so I'm going to do Beautify with the other batches. So you have option to join that class, or if you want to self do AWS lah, right? But actually, yeah, if you want to join the other class also can. If you want to join the other class also can. If you want to do AWS also can, right? But yeah, tomorrow I'm going to do this. Tomorrow I'm going to do Beautify with the other classes. But I think I rasa better you join lah. How to join? You go to their link. If you join, you go to their link. If you want, then you stay on this link. Or if not, what we can do also, we can just open one link, one classes, both masuk. If you need, you just mute it. Same class. Tomorrow is a Friday, so both same class. So you either want to do that can, you want to do that can, right? Because they are only 4%. Right, you guys are 10. That's why last time tak sempat kan. So that's diorang sempat buat Beautify, right? Because that's why I know some of you have not done this. So tomorrow with the other batches we're going to do Beautify. This is the example. This one I did. I think by AWS is recorded. AWS class is self-learn. AWS class is I give you a slide, you try to do it. So do the different. This one is I teach them lah because they are looking for job after this. A lot of kebanyakan, most of them ni. This is something. This is the one that we did. Kan you see the one that we did. Movie app, the typical movie app that I will always use, but this time around I'm not using Bootstrap anymore. I'm using Beautify. Alright, so this is the website that I did this morning with Beautify, and then press it, go to the second page, everything. Tapi tak sesuai lagi lah. So this kind of design is the design that you get from Beautify. Material design. So tomorrow I will do this with them. So later tomorrow I tell you in advance, you can decide lah which one you want to go.
Cikgu, untuk semalam punya ni kita buat detail page, kita akan complete this module ke atau next module?
React.js this module. React.js have to be this module.
Okay, so maknanya kita akan complete the detail page jugalah kan?
I will only show you how to pass the ID, after that you complete it.
Okay.
That tu yang I cakap tadi kan. No, maybe you tak ada lagi waktu tu. I say that today I tak sempat tengok because it was the I just came back, I arrived, and then I have class in the morning. I arrive home and then your class. Mandi pun tak sempat. Tadi maghrib sebab mandi kejap. Okay, so that's AWS, and then what I'm going to do now is I will just tutup kejap my screen because I want to put in my password. aws.amazon.com. Okay, so once I log in into AWS, right? Once I log in into AWS, I will arrive here. All right, I will arrive here, and then from here, just now I was going through with all of you all the important services. All right, if I have to recap, EC2 important, Lightsail important, S3 is important, RDS important, DynamoDB important, Glacier important, and then I think that's, and then IAM just now, right? IAM. So now I'm going to IAM. And then once I go to IAM, is there a database here? Kenapa ada Daniel? Okay, once I go to IAM, no, I was some of the person have not been in the company for a while, but they keep using the name. This is who's? My bad. What did I just deleted? I think I deleted. I accidentally deleted something just now. Oh no. Shit. Wait, give me 1 second. Okay, sorry because just now I was trying to checking ni sebab I delete something. I just want to check with my developer something that I deleted just now ada orang pakai ke tak. So if somebody use it, then I can recover balik, right? So now inside AIM, I will add a user. So I will add 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Siapa datang kelas dapatlah account ya. Siapa datang kelas dapat account. So I will add Diana, and then I will add Walid. Right. I will add Daniel. I will add kita pakai mampus. So I will settle with right? So I will put Joel here. Alright, and then I put Raj there. And then I put and then I put Kesavan as Faiz Kesavan, and I put Kesavan. So remember, you see your name. This is your login. You see your name. This is your login. All right, and then I will give you access to the console. All right, I will give you access to the console. Mungkin Alif pakai account to. Okay, I give you a custom password. The custom password is ABCD1234. So later, ABCD1234. So this, dah ada ni ya. Capital A, capital A, capital A.
I didn't catch that. Could you try again?
Okay, capital A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you remember your password, but later when you log in, you will be required to change your password. Alright, please change your password, but don't put password. Don't put simple password everything. Please put something that is the I will not know your password. We will not know your password. Please put something that is secure. Only yourself know. Because last time when I teach, somebody put password as a password and then my account got hacked. Alright, so please put something that is secure enough. But I will not know your password. Only you know your password. Right? And then next, once I create the user, I will. This one I will set. I will tell what permission. What permission I want you to have. All right. Most of the time, I will give admin. All right. Admin means myself lah. I can give you to everything. But let's say that no, I don't want to give you anything like I worried that you screw up or something. So I can say like, all right, I want you guys to be able to access to EC2. Right. I want you guys to be able to EC2. I want you guys to be able to access to RDS. So all this you have to remember when I say EC2, RDS, and what is it? I want you guys to be able to have access to S3. S3 I will okay. I want you guys to have access to S3, but for example to a particular folder. This one I create policy. I want you guys to have access to S3. Alright, but for S3 boleh list, read, tag and write. But I want you to have access to a specific folder. Just one all resources. Specific resources any in this account mana? Request option. This one S3 I will not give her. S3 I will not give her because I'm not. I also don't know how to give access to a particular folder because because my S3 has a lot of things. I only want to give you to a particular folder. Right? Nanti this one I give later. So EC2 done, RDS done. Is S3 I will not give it yet. Alright, I will edit the permission later. What else? I think that's it for now. What is this? UTEM S3. Tag limited list, right? So we show remaining one. Yeah. Let me check back. Yep. Give S3 access to a particular bucket IAM. Kalau my accounts, policies, create your own policies. Okay, ni betul lah buat ni. Create your own policies and then fill out the policy name and the bucket. Alright, so okay, list all my bucket location, resources. Okay, single bucket. Alright, so this is here. So I buat balik ya. So this one, I want you to have access. I want to give you access to S3. Alright. I will, oh no, tanpa je. Right. I want you to have access to S3, but you only have access to your own S3. Right. So that's what it means. So next text, this one text on S3. Next review. Okay, create policy on S3. And then press create policy. Has some condition resources that does not be able to grant access. Okay, so on S3 policy. Yep. Okay, so now you guys, I think I can give you access to the for refresh. I can give you that access as well. Tak apa, nanti you tengok kalau tak ini. So you have access to 3 things, right? You have access to 3 things. So once you do that, group name is student permission. All right. Once you have that, all right. For the last time, all right. For the last time, you check your name just now. And then, si tak payah, alright, you remember your name, Diana, Walid, Daniel, Joel, Raj, Faiz, Kesavan. The password is ABCD1234, A besar. Right, we just check back. And then, takut lah, salah. No, I takut you have access to other thing. So RTS okay, EC2 okay, own policy again, and then I press create user. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you're going to this URL, or you are going to this URL. And then you can log in using this URL. After you log in using that URL, then please change your password. All right, please change your password. Then tomorrow or next week you will play with it. Tomorrow or next week you play with it. Okay. Faiz, cuba Faiz, and then you share your screen. Faiz assistant guru.
Tengah buat sekarang.
Buat sekarang lah. Buat sekarang. Sebab saya nak periksa, takut ada benda-benda yang bukan-bukan pun dapat kan.
Share screen ke?
Boleh share screen? Nak tengok sekejap. Password ni tak apa. Password ni saya tak buat kan.
Password. Sekejap, tengah fikir sekejap password.
Ni tulis di atas kertas ya. Okay, so you guys should have something like this. So go to services.
All lah.
All services. Let's say you go to light sale. Lambat ni internet.
Itulah.
Okay, so if you go to light sale, okay, let's get started. Alright, this one this one is because I tak bagi you permission to light sale. Alright, so no, because because we not cover light sale. If it's me, then you have permission. Now you go to S3. Go back just now. You go to S3. I nak tengok betul tak S3 I buat tu. Alright, this one you have permission. Ada semua, mampus aku. Sorry, go to one ADA LMS. Sorry, you only have it, but if you try to go in, try masuk satu. Go to public. Go to logos. Buka satu. Go to that URL.
URL this one.
Okay, URL correct. Rasa boleh tu. Okay, boleh. So that one S3 I take out over because I'm not sure how to do it first. Tak apa, then okay. And then I just want to check that. Let me fix it now. Nanti dah betul. That one S3 at least if when we need it I will give ya. When we need it I will give it. Right, cuba sekali lagi Faiz, go to S3, refresh. Sorry, go to S3 console, go to services.
Services. Go back lah.
Go back. Go to S3 balik.
S3.
Okay. So actually I need that lah. Tak apa. When we need to use S3, I will give you the permission. Okay. So at least I need EC2 and RDS. Okay. So this one you will discover next week. Or no, you can try. You will try next week lah. So once you have your account, if you have any problem, you PM me. And then you will discover next week or tomorrow. Okay, before we finish, 10 minutes, 12 minutes for you to do the 10 question. Okay, so question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5, question 6, question 7. 6 dan 7 soalan yang sama. Question 8, question 9, question 10. Actually yang kini sini tak ada. Question 10, alright. So take 10 minutes. Right, this is the example of the question that they might have. You guys tak open ya? Seorang je buka. So let me reshare back the link. This is the kind of questions that if you're interested, that will come out on the exam. So try to see if you can do it. Then you let me know. Then we will discuss the answer around 10 PM. Okay, dah boleh lagi. Okay, let's semak your answer. Not really serious lah. Alright, just for you to check. Alright, if not you are ready or not. Just well, if you get what I discussed on top just now, yeah. So, which of the following describe the cloud design principle of scalability? Electricity and scalability. A, the ability to automatically increase available compute resources to meet growing user demand. Right, so this is the answer. So this scalability is you can increase the server resources based on user demand. Question B. AWS free tier is designed to give new account holders the opportunity to get to know how their services work without necessarily costing any money. How does it work? C pun tak ada. D lah, right? You get free lightweight access to many core AWS services for a full of 12 months. Oh, this C. Oh, sorry, C. Sorry, C. What C is there? So it's C macam ni, right? So mungkin dah. So D, you get lightweight access to many core AWS services for a full 12 months. Which of this is a designation for 2 or more AWS data centers within a single geographic area? So for 2, so this one is availability zone, AZ store. Alright, you have inside within the same region, alright, within Singapore, you have one in Jurong, alright, another one is in East Coast, Marina. Which of the following AWS compute services offers an administration experience that most closely resembles the way you would run physical servers in your own local data center? This is server, I say server. Alright, it's actually EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. Kenapa sama? How many times I repeat these questions? Which of these? This one is this one. I will keep copy pasting the same question. Which of the following AWS object storage services offers the lowest ongoing charges but at the cost of some convenience? This is the archive, right? Archive just now, right? So you store it cheaply, but if you want to get the data, you kena tunggu 30 minit, right? Something like that. So Glacier. So this one is a Glacier. What services does AWS use to provide a content delivery network CDN for its customers? So if this one, if you remember, if you check, it's actually inside. When I was explaining code CDN, right, I cited 2 examples. So one of it belong to AWS, and that is CloudFront. Right? When I explained about AWS just now, about CDN just now, I cited CloudFront. What is a mesokinesis? This one I ini, tapi you can ni lah. You can process elimination. So it's actually this one. So this one I tak explain. But yang ni bukan, right? As no SQL, you know is DynamoDB. Takkanlah ni kan? Takkanlah the answer is a GRIS-based Amazon Direct Connect service partner. A service that permit queries against data. So actually it's a CP, a service that permit processing, analyzing of real-time data and data streams. What is a mesocognito? This one also I have not explained. So it's actually a service that can manage authentication and authorization for your public-facing application. Right, so that's the answer. Okay, so that's about it. All right, that's about it. There is this one thing which is called. Oh, I have reference there as well. I have this reference. Alright, that you can do. Actually the you can go here, right? You can go here because I give you the AWS account. You can go here. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever that you want for the account, but please close the account if you use it. If you use any of this, please let me know. You don't not let me know lah. You just update me. You just update. Sir, I finished this. Sir, I finished this. Sir, I finished this. Sir, I finished it. Sir, actually today I did this. So today I did this. Just do it that because I want to make sure that you delete the server after you do it, right? Because some of the exercise you did, they might not tell you how to delete the server. If not, I will keep being charged. There is no issue because I'm using my my voucher. But sometimes some of the exercise macam this one, RDS is the one that I have to be careful lah. Some of the exercise they ask, please open a big database, right? I know, why do you need to open a big database? No, some of the hands-on exercise they put there, please open a big database because they hope that students forget to close the database. It happens to be one of my old students lah. So if you want to do, it's okay, you can use it. But you let me know that. All right, sir, today I do this. All right, sir, today I do this. Just let me know that. And then I want to introduce you to Cloudcraft. All right, I want you to introduce you to Cloudcraft as well. Cloudcraft. Inside Cloudcraft, all right, this is where normally you can draw your AWS. All right, so next class, you will learn. You will say lah, all right, I want to create a server. All right, I want to create a website. All right, a website. I want to use one EC2. All right, I want to use one EC2. And then I want to use one RDS, for example, right? I want to use one RDS, or I want to use one S3, right? You just drag and drop. And then you design it. This is normally if you send a proposal or something, right? Normally you did this, right? You did this picture or something, right? If you're sending a proposal, normally they want to see this drawing. This is what we call a server architecture, right? And then they can also tell me the budget, right, for this kind of setup. This is how much I have to pay every month, right? There's one more tool which is called AWS calculator or AWS calculator. It's the same thing as well. You pilih. So I want this month. I want to use one EC2. This one I want to use one S3, right? I want to use one EC2. This one I want to use one S3. How many and everything? And then you just fill it in. That you say, all right, this month, all right. And then I want to use one S3. Then you will tell you how much it will cost. Right? So that's the other thing. If you want to manage costing with AWS. Okay, so that's about it for today. Introduction to AWS. No practical yet. Maybe practical I will ask you tomorrow or next week. Any questions?
Tak ada, sir.
Tak ada ya? Walid habis awal ni. Walid sakit lagi ke?
Demam, rasa tak tahu lah, demam lagi kot.
Itu